It's a very exciting story because it is a happy ending. I was an athlete my whole life. I competitively swam in first grade. I was a record athlete in high school, state record in sprinting. I was very healthy, always took care of myself. In 1993, a disease came upon me very suddenly, very mysteriously. Within inside of a week, I was almost dead. The first hospital misdiagnosed me, and by the time I got to the second hospital, which was a major hospital in Boston, the first 5 tests they took of me showed I was already dead. And they were going to try to stabilize me overnight for an 8-hour surgery, a 13-hour surgery the next day. They only gave me a 10% chance to live. So that was my first miracle from God, and that's when I realized I had PSC, primary sclerosing cholangitis. It's the same disease that killed Walter Payton, who was an elite athlete in the NFL. And so for 15 years, I had 32 surgeries. I wore bags off my liver. There's a lot of suffering, and I died actually twice, and they brought me back. So I'm very grateful for my conventional doctors, who were a very large team of very, very intelligent people. And it wasn't until Sandy Ellsberg visited me in Boston and introduced me over the phone to Dr. Wallach. I had heard about him, decades earlier with Dead Doctors Don't Lie. I thought he was a brilliant man. I never thought I would ever know him, and so to be on the phone with him was amazing and such an honor. So I thought if he could do anything, I was very open-minded and excited to even think if he could. And so he said he knew exactly what my disease was, and no one ever told me that. And he actually told not only that, he knew what caused it. It was some dietary changes I needed to make, coupled with a massive and profound mineral deficiency. So when you put back in the body what the body is missing, diseases and symptoms of diseases go away. So he was so confident that he could help what I had. He said within 30 days my blood work and my liver number would go back into the normal range, which is medically impossible. This is not a disease that you survive. It's 100% fatal in men and 50% fatal in women. So in 35 days when my liver numbers came back into the normal range, I got an emergency call from my team of doctors in Boston, and I was shocked and but then excited because he was able to do that all naturally with no side effects, no prescriptions, nothing. And so 60 days later, my husband and I launched the chocolates and run the ingredient deck of the chocolate by Dr. Wallach to see what he thinks of it. He was very, very impressed, and he was agreed to do all of our distribution. And so we started with 44 people, got to over 12,000 people, have sold over 3 million pieces of chocolate, and as you notice, Dr. Wallach's even thinner nowadays since he met True Chocolate. So it's been a wonderful process. It's been obviously a life-changing testimony. And my testimony is exciting because it validates what Dr. Wallach's been saying since I was 1 year old. So I'm very honored to share my testimony.
So we've made a complete system, which we call the Mighty 90. And there's like 25 different ways to get that, depending on, people have allergies to shellfish, or they've got allergies to this, that, and the other. So we've come up with 25 different ways to cover every known eventuality, whether they like liquids or capsules or whatever. We've covered all these things in what we call the Mighty 90. We assure them that they're going to get optimal in many cases 8,000 times, or 16,000 times, or 30,000 times the minimum data requirement. Because when you have a disease which is debilitating you to the point where doctors have got you on pharmaceuticals, they want to cut your knees out and put in artificial knees. People don't want to wait a year to be healed.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh, the possibilities of what I could. Oh, do with the world at my fingertips. My imagination brings